The Doc Spratley, a classic fly that's earned a permanent place in my fly box. Okay everyone, today we've got the classic Doc Spratley for you. And in my vise I've got a number 10 2x long hook. You can tie this fly number 8s and 6s as well, 12s. Jack Shaw even recommended this fly could be imitated of a chironomid if you tied it in like number 14s, really small, and then cut off the wing. Go figure. So I'm coming in with my 70 denier black tying thread. I'm going to start just past the midpoint of the hook and get that attached in there. Bring it back to between the point and the barb. So we get that secured in there. And our first material is the tail. And tail, we're coming in with natural guinea fowl. I like guinea fowl. You can alternately use grizzly hackle or mallard flank. Any kind of barred black and white feather would do. I'm grabbing a little less than 1/4 inch of that off the feather, the fibers, and I like to tie it in. If there's any curl to it, I like the curl to go up. And about the length of the hook is where I pinch it and then switch hands, bring it over, and secure that in place. A nice prominent tail there. We're going to cut off the tag ends of that. And our ribbing material, first of all, I'm going to bring the thread forward to about 3/4 up the hook shank, because like a chironomid, the ribbing material is like a wire on a chironomid, and I want it tied in up near the front and along the length of the body, along the side, so it doesn't build up too much bulk here at the rear of the hook where it's going to fold over, so it's even along the length of the whole body there. So I got that tied in near the front, and bringing the thread back to my tie-in point of the tail. Our body material is fine black chenille. Of course you can use black wool, but I like black chenille because you can tear off or pinch and pull off the fibers off the end and get a nice slender tie-in point by tying in just the cores of the chenille. We'll bring that chenille, get that chenille tied in, bring our thread back forward to the 3/4 point on the hook. We need a fair bit of room up here because we're going to be tying in a beard, a wing, and the peacock herl head, and then of course the final thread head. So we want to leave a lot of room up here. Now I'm wrapping the chenille, if I'm looking from the front of the hook, clockwise, so away from me over the top, and we're bringing that up the body here. Again, being mindful of not crowding the head area. And we give that a few wraps of thread to capture it in place. Take the chenille up and cut it away from my thread. Okay, now for the French oval tinsel, that's what we're using here in medium. Right there, put it upright so you can see that. Then I'm going the opposite direction. So if I'm looking from the front, I'm going counterclockwise so it doesn't get lost between the wraps there. And we spiral that forward about 4 wraps or so. Doesn't have to be exact, but 4 wraps, 5 wraps would be fine. And get that secured in there. As you can see, the head is already starting to look a little bit busy, but that's okay, we'll work with that. Now I'm going to secure all that in there with a few more wraps. Now I'm going to invert the vise because I want to tie in my beard of guinea fowl again. Same thing, and about the same size clump as I used on the tail, a little less than 1/4 inch. And I like the tips to run about equal with the point, about to meet the point of the hook. So I get those set in there at that length, give it a loose wrap, take a look if I got it right. Looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to give it a few more wraps to secure it in there and cut off the tag ends. Now they're A little bit wild. There we go. We're going to upright that vise now. And for the wing, we're using natural pheasant tail, center cock pheasant tail in the natural color. And I'm pulling off, about 1/4 inch of those fibers for the wing. I like the wing to run just a little short of the tail. So not that long. I like it staggered a little bit. So we're going to bring that in there, put a loose loop too. See if I've got the wing at the right place. Looking okay. Yeah, another couple wraps. And we can cut off the tag ends of the pheasant tail. And the final material to come in is our peacock herl. I like a couple of fibers, 2 or 3, of the bushier, tending toward green, the iridescent green of the peacock herl. And I tie that in there, bringing it back to the end of the wing and then bringing my thread forward to the eye. We will cut off the tag ends of that to keep them out of the way of the eye. And just before I wrap it forward, I'm coming in with super glue, brushable super glue, because peacock herl is such a fragile material. And I'm going to give it a good dab on top and bottom. It's such a fragile material, one trout can shred it and with their teeth. And so I secure that so that if it does get broken, it's still stuck to the head and still fishable. So I like to build up a bit of a nice head here so it's obvious. And then we'll tie that off just behind the eye. Cut off the tag ends of that. And then we're going to finish that with a nice tidy head. I'm going to give that a half hitch with my fingers. And then whip finish it with the tool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whip finished. And there you have the classic Doc Spratley. Now I always have a variety of these in my tackle box. This is the black body, the classic. I've used this, believe it or not, during a black ant, carpenter ant hatch, fished on a dry line. The more straggled it looks, the better, and it works dandy. I always have some red-bodied ones, and green-bodied. And when I tie the green-bodied ones, I often tie the dyed green pheasant tail on top to match it. Believe it or not, there was a day on an island lake not long ago when the fish were on the Daphnia. And the Daphnia they're super abundant in the lake. You couldn't look anywhere without seeing millions of them. And they were this rust red color. And I tried numerous flies, blobs, things like that. The trout weren't having any of it. Threw on a red-bodied Doc Spratley and I was into fish after fish. Go figure. Didn't look anything like the Daphnia. The only similarity was the color, but that's what they wanted. I'm not going to argue with that kind of success. Hope you enjoyed this fly. Make sure you always got a variety of colors in your box and a couple of different sizes. You won't regret it. Good luck next season. Take these out when you're searching a new lake. You're going to bang into some fish and it'll get you started. Have fun out there. Bye for now.